That was the best acting I've ever seen in my whole life.
Nearly every filmmaker agrees that good acting is important.
I've abandoned my child!
But there is far from an agreed-upon definition for what good acting looks like and how it can be achieved.
You don't go to work with Daniel Day-Lewis. You go to work with whoever his character is. That's who you see when you get to work in the morning, and that's who leaves at night.
One immensely influential performing philosophy is method acting. But even method acting has various schools and techniques.
Man, I don't drop character till I've done a DVD commentary.
This is What is Method Acting? Before we start our vocal warm-ups, remember to subscribe to Studio Binder and enable notifications to stay up to date on all our filmmaking videos. Let the performance begin. Method acting refers to when an actor focuses on the interiority of a role, submerging themselves into the character's headspace, their thoughts and worldview. This is in stark contrast to classical acting, which focuses more on what director Elia Kazan derided as external imitation.
I can absolutely guarantee you that I'm not feeling anything. The audience have no interest in what you might be feeling. You're supposed to give the appearance of feeling something like you did when you were a kid.
As method actor Sally Field puts it,
I would walk around and use whatever exercises to find her walk and find her rhythm and be it, so that you were no longer acting, you were behaving.
She didn't hear one word I say. She doesn't hear you right now.
Now, you know that happens, Norma Ray. It happens all the time.
Well, it doesn't happen to my mama.
but the method can look very different depending on the actor and the school they were brought up in. Therefore, it can be a hotly contested term. Marlon Brando, who popularized one version of the method, argued that the term was misused and hesitated to use it. Contrary to popular belief, method acting does not mean a performer can never leave a character between takes, or has to live the life the character leads. This can be some actors' approach to the method, but it's far from required.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I want to do one more.
As Ellen Burstyn explains,
there are a lot of cliches around about what method acting is, you know, like if you tear your t-shirt, you're a method actor. And that's really not it. The method just simply means a method of work, an approach to work, so that you can connect with your character on as deep a level as possible.
Variations of the method have been used by some of cinema's most acclaimed actors, including Robert De Niro, Anne Bancroft, Daniel Day-Lewis, Jane Fonda, and Al Pacino. The method's origins can be found in theater practitioner Konstantin Stanislavski's system. In the 1930s, the Russian actor developed a rehearsal process called the method of physical action, which emphasized improvised physical movement, rather than the academic discussions of a role which were the prevailing norm of the time. According to Stanislavski, the system cultivated what he called the art of experience. Stanislavski's system quickly became an international movement with various offshoots. In India, Dilip Kumar pioneered his own form of the method, influencing an entire generation of Indian actors. In New York, meanwhile, the group theatre famously worked with and built on Stanislavski's ideas. Notable members of the collective, which ran through the 1930s, included Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, and Sanford Meisner. Each of these performers expanded on, developed, and even diverged from the method in their own distinctive ways. Strasberg co-founded the group theatre and directed Adler and Meisner. But Adler came to staunchly reject Strasberg's teachings, arguing for an updated interpretation of Stanislavski after she spent time with him in the mid-1930s. Adler explains how she diverged from Strasberg's emotional memory theories.
The central disagreement, I would say, that the theatre exists 99% through the facility of the imagination. And Mr. Strasberg insisted that that was secondary.
Today, American method acting is largely split into these three schools: Strasberg, Adler, and Meisner. Let's look closer at each discipline's methods, beginning with Lee Strasberg. Lee Strasberg's approach is what most people think of when they think of the method. He focused primarily on the psychological aspects of the method. Strasberg believed that an actor could tap into their own emotional experiences to create more authentic performances, where an actor is actually feeling what their character feels. In other words, the core pursuit of Strasberg's approach is emotional truth. Strasberg's approach can be seen in countless iconic performances, including James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause and Al Pacino in The Godfather. Strasberg espoused a few specific techniques an actor could use to achieve emotional truth. The first is borrowed from Stanislavski, called affective memory. An actor will recall personal experiences and connect them to a character's emotions, allowing them to imbue the character with real emotion. Anne Hathaway, a practitioner of the method, describes this process.
I did connect to my characters through trauma. Like, I would kind of search out parts in myself where I was broken and parts where they were broken, and I would try to kind of find my way into them through that way.
Did I sacrifice every bit of love in this life because I killed our little brother?
Oh, it was an accident. It was an accident.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Kimmy,
I'm sorry.
Kimmy, it was an accident.
I'm sorry.
Also taken from Stanislavski is the concept of sense memory, where an actor will relive sensory experiences from personal memories. Strasberg provides an example.
When we sleep, we not only have to lie there, we have to create sleep, which is a sensory reality. When we wake up, we don't really know it's dark in the place and so on. All these things you have to create because the stage is going to be pretty light.
Strasberg then took these ideas a step further with substitution, where an actor would replace a character's circumstances with their own experiences, allowing them to fully enter the character's psyche.
No, I didn't kill him. He wanted in. Why? I didn't want him to come in, and he insisted. I said, "You gotta stay at home," but he doesn't listen to me. He's such a stupid son of a bitch. I killed him, didn't I? Oh, this is my fault. I'm sorry.
Strasberg also taught what he called physicalization. This is where an actor utilizes physical actions and expressions to prompt specific emotions.
Die. Axe murder, kill.
While Strasberg's psyche-oriented approach has resulted in authentic and nuanced performances, so has Stella Adler's method.
Hey, Stella!
Stella Adler's approach emphasizes the sociological aspects of the method. Adler underscored the importance of understanding a character's historical, cultural, and social context. She focused on the strong connection between a character's identity and the world in which they live. She differentiated herself from Strasberg and other method practitioners by rejecting the idea that an actor had to use their own personal experiences to inform a character. Like with Strasberg, however, there is no shortage of iconic performances which employed the Adler style, including Marlon Brando in A Streetcar Named Desire, Geraldine Page in The Trip to Bountiful, and Harvey Keitel in Reservoir Dogs. The Adler approach has several popular techniques and ideas. Adler stressed finding characters' objectives in each scene. She taught her students to focus on what a character wants to achieve and the actions they will take to achieve it.
I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you. Come on!
Of course, Adler also emphasized research, instructing actors to examine their character's background in all facets, from historically to economically to culturally. Here you can see Adler encouraging this kind of discipline with a student.
You must choose. As a major, you must say, what kind of a major is he? Is he a major like you are? Because I don't agree that you're a major. I think a major, if by his very nature of being a major, called a major, has to sit like a major, has to talk like a major, and has to think like a major. And I think you don't. I think you think like you.
Jake Gyllenhaal discusses how research works into his method performance in Southpaw.
With Billy Hope, like he came from foster care, he went through the system. I had watched a number of documentaries about kids who were boxing, and one of them actually happened to be an orphan, and I just stole his entire backstory.
In this vein, Adler also called for intensive script analysis, identifying subtext and the subtleties of character relationships.
When I read the screenplay, and then of course getting the chance to read the book, I realized that she's truly ignorant. I mean, she really, truly believes that what she's doing is the best for everyone. At the time, it was a really disturbing realization, actually, to think that, wow, this person really thinks that she's doing good.
In a broader sense, Adler's philosophy argued that acting is a lifestyle and that discipline is crucial in obtaining a great performance.
Now, you mustn't put anything on your body which doesn't feed the play and which doesn't feed your soul, because you're not acting words. You are not acting words. That is not part of the tradition in which this playwright wrote a play. You cannot dress that way, you cannot use a bottle that way, you cannot use candles that way, and I don't want to be subjected to it. Do you understand?
Let's now look at the third major school in method acting, Sanford Meisner's method. The Meisner School is known for its focus on the behavioral aspects of the method. Meisner sought to focus on actors' relationships, getting performers to respond to each other truthfully.
Right, a child told me. I'm not a kid. You know, I hate it when you have...
In other words, he was focused on the reaction element of acting, the response to outside stimuli. Legendary Meisner-influenced performances include Diane Keaton in Annie Hall, Grace Kelly in Rear Window, and Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. Meisner techniques encourage actors to focus on reacting.
What was that?
Shomikasi. That's how you are.
I don't know what you said, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil.
Arguably, his most famous technique is the repetition exercise, where scene partners will repeat simple phrases and alter their responses based on what they are picking up from each other.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really?
No, not really.
Oh, no, not really.
Oh, no, not really.
Oh, no, not really.
This leads actors to employ active listening and pay keen attention to emotional reactions.
Oh, you love that, don't you?
Yeah, I love that.
Another Meisner technique is independent activity, where an actor will engage in an activity while in character, letting behaviors emerge naturally. Meisner encouraged impulse and instinct, pushing his actors to trust their intuition and act without too much premeditated thought. He explains.
You can talk about how to play a part, but until it finds its living roots in you, it's in your head.
It's what? It's in your head.
In
yes.
your head.
In your head, yes.
And I am against the head.
Yes.
Method actor Joaquin Phoenix echoes this sentiment.
You go through the script and you can't help but come up with ideas. But if I ever go onto set and then consciously try to use one of those ideas that I've had, it's always really bad, like without fail.
Like Adler, he also emphasized the importance of subtext. He believed strong performances came from the unspoken emotions that lay beneath dialogue.
We have guests this evening?
No, why?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Acting is far from a science, and no one actor's approach to getting a good performance is the same. Method acting simply provides framework that can help an actor more fully immerse themselves into a character, contrary to the myth that the method means being a menace on set. Most acting requires a script. Get started on your own screenplay with Studio Binder's screenwriting software. And with that, my performance is complete.
Okay,